Oh, you caught me unawares there, Amanda. Ah, right. Yeah, something incredibly different from what I normally sing. So, wish me luck. I've got you deep in the heart of me, so deep in my heart that you're really a part of me. I've got you under my skin. I've tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair, it never will go so well. Oh, but why should I try to resist when, baby, I know so well that I've got you under my skin. I would sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice that comes in the night and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, that you never can win? Use your mentality and wake up to reality. Oh, but each time that I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin. I've got you under my skin. I've got you oh so deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart that you're really a part of me. Oh, I have got you under my skin. For I would sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of the warning voice that comes in the night and repeats how it yells in my ear. Oh, don't you know, little fool, that you never can win? Why not use your mentality? Step up, wake up to reality. Oh, but every time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop just before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin. Yes, I've got you under my skin. Okay, it's not folk, but who cares?
Well, it's not folk, but it is folk because it's a song that people sing. So I think you had me
Absolutely.
going with the stop. I thought he had stopped. I thought it was like a joke ending. But anyway, thank you, David. It's now time for Jeanne and Phil, and then one from Bob Askew.
Yes, ours is a bit different as well, because this is a song that I wrote for a competition which was designed to publicise fostering, and it's called Backyard Girl.
In the garden a child swings high to the sun, which warms to the smile on her face. There are friends in fatigue, races to run. There is light, there is wind, there is space. But the child in the yard makes another new friend, the fourth in her long, lonely day. But it isn't for real, it's only pretend, for she barely has learned how to play. There are roses and trees in the garden, and daisies that dance on the lawn. In the yard there is grass where the concrete has cracked. Who chooses where he can be born? Who chooses where he can be born? The child from the garden is fair and petite, and bright as a button at school. Her eyes link the stars with the world at her feet. Her future's abundant and full. But the child in the yard starts the morning in tears, for school only makes her afraid. How can it be just for a creature so young to be judged by the world's second grade? There are roses and trees in the garden, and daisies that dance on the lawn. In the yard there is grass where the concrete has cracked. Who chooses where he can be born? Who chooses where he can be born? The child from the garden is tucked into bed by a mother who's never away. When her father comes home, there's so much to be said of the things that have happened today. But the child from the yard can't remember her dad. Her mum has to leave her alone. And when she comes home, she'll be tired and sad, so the child goes to bed on her own. Bring the child from the yard to the garden. Think how much you've been given to share. The warmth of your home and the warmth of your love. Teach your child in the garden to care. Your own child in the garden to care.
Song, Phil. Lovely.
There very sweet song, Jeanne and Phil. Thank you. Okay, it's over to Bob Askew now, and then one from Charles West.
Right, I was hoping to sing a ballad, but I don't think I can manage something that long, so I'm going to sing a sea song, The Loss of the Ramilles. If Tim's here, I apologise to him because I know he sings this song. It's about a shipwreck, a naval ship. It was a terrible loss of life off Plymouth in the late 18th century. And it was collected from a man called Frank White in Southampton 100 years ago or so. It's on a day, a certain day, the Ramilles at her anchor lay, and in the night a gale came on, and the ship from her anchorage away did run. With yards and canvas neatly spread, was thinking to weather the old Ram's Head, but the gale fell down in terrible drops, and the seas smashed over our foretops. The boatswain cried, "Me hearties all, listen to me while I make my call. Launch out your boats, your lives to save, or the seas tonight will be your grave." So overboard our boats we tossed, but so many got in that most was lost, all piled on top of one another, and those below, they all was smothered. Sad news for Plymouth Town, the loss of the Ramilles and all those men, except we two who tell this tale, how the ship behaved in that dreadful gale. Come men and women and weep with me for the loss of those men on the Ramilles. All Plymouth Town it ran with tears when they heard the news of that sad affair. Loss of the Ramilles.
A tragedy, Bob. Thank you. Okay, it is now Charles West, and then one from David Jones, please.
Okay, I'm going to give you a ballad this morning, which I'll introduce quickly. In 2014, the documentary movie Citizen4 won an Oscar for the Best Documentary. In January 2013, documentary filmmaker Laura Poitras started receiving anonymous encrypted emails from Citizen4, who claimed to have evidence of illegal surveillance programs run by NSA. 5 months later, her and Glenn Grunwald of The Intercept went to Hong Kong to interview a man who turned out to be Edward Snowden. And Ed Snowden is one of my heroes, and I thought he deserved a song. So this is the Ballad of Edward Snowden. Come gather all around, my friends, I'm glad to find you well. Come sit right down beside me, hear a story I will tell. It's like when Edward Snowden showed a patriot of note, who hacked away the NSA, caught Obama's goat. Already he was a sysadmin, a job that paid him well, but he couldn't stand the spying and he couldn't stand the smell of 100 million emails that would make the Stasi proud as they vacuumed up the contents of the systems in the cloud. So one day Eddie writes a note to a fella named Glenn Grunwald at The Intercept, a fellow with a pen. Have a tale, says Eddie, that'll put you on the floor. First we need a secret way to speak to Citizen4. We need to use encryption, we need pretty good privacy to keep our secrets out of sight of the spying agency. We're gonna need a password when we put things in the mail. and we'll need a damn good password to be staying out of jail. Now, Glenn was just a newbie, hardly heard of PGP, but he had a friend in Laura who already had a key. Together they got started with the system known as Tails. They conjured up a master key, they hope it never fails. The files are at the Intercept, go read 'em if you dare. The movie got an Oscar, but nobody seems to care. For 100 million phone calls that would make the Stasi proud, as they vacuum up the contents of the systems in the cloud. It's been a couple of years now since Ed left his cushy post and flitted off to Moscow with Putin for a host. Now he's living quietly, the guru of the net, who better knows the secrets that can make Kamala sweat. Go look at all those secret files, you'd scarce believe your eyes. 100 million secrets here, 100 million lies. Microsoft and Yahoo helping spook straight all the mail. Clapper lied to Congress, but he never went to jail. I'm just an old curmudgeon, and I never thought I'd see the Goodman has to hide away in Moscow to be free. 100 million phone calls that would make the Stasi proud, as they vacuum up the contents of the systems in the cloud. And it's all to make us safer, sure it's all to keep us free. That's why they read the emails of the likes of you and me. 100 million emails that would make the Stasi proud, as they vacuum up the contents of the systems in the cloud.
A ballad for the internet age. Nicely done. Okay, David Jones is up next, and after David, could we have Judy Cook and Dennis, please? Are you there, David?
I got switched off. Wow, that was a great. I was telling a very funny joke. You missed it.
I'll give us
And-
it then. Tell us it.
No, I found this song in Greenwich Village in New York in the dollar bin at Alan Block's sandal shop. He was an old-time fiddler, and it was a A.L. Lloyd record for $1, so I bought it, and this song was on it, and I liked it a lot. You gentlemen, both great and small, gamekeepers, poachers, sportsmen all, come listen to my simple song. I'll sing you the death of poor Bill Brown. I'll sing you the death of poor Bill Brown. One stormy night, as you shall hear, it being the season of the year, we went to the woods to catch a buck, but on that night we had bad luck. Poor Bill was shot and his course was struck. We got to the woods, our sport began. I saw the gamekeeper present his gun. I called on Bill to climb the gate to get away, but it was too late. For there he met his untimely fate. And I know the man that shot Bill Brown. I knowed him well and can tell the clown. And to describe him in my song, black jacket he had and red waistcoat on. I knowed him well, and his name was Tom. Well, I dressed myself next night in time. I looked at me watch and it struck just 9. Sorry. I dressed myself next night in time. I got to the woods and the clock struck 9. The reason was, and I tell you why, to find that gamekeeper I did go try. He shot my friend and he must die. Well, I ranged the woods all over and then I looked at me watch and it was just 10. I heard a step upon the green. I hid myself for fear being seen. For I plainly saw that it was Tom Green. And I held me gun all in my hand, resolved to fire if Tom should stand. Tom heard a noise and he turned him round. I fired and brought him to the ground. My hand gave him his deep death wound. Now revenge, you see, my hopes have crowned. I've shot the man that shot Bill Brown. Poor Bill, these eyes no more shall say, farewell, dear friend, farewell to thee. I've crowned your hopes and your memory.
Lovely, David.
Well, it's been a night of considerable tragedy so far. That certainly added to it. So let's see if Judy and Dennis are going to cheer us up or take us further into the slough of despond. After them, it will be Graham Baldwin.
I hope it's all right that it's just me, but I will sing a more cheerful song. I'm going to sing Bill Hopkins Colt from Vermont, from the Flanders collection, and this is it's about a Hambletonian, and a Hambletonian is a trotting horse, a horse that does racing just in a single gait. Mm-hmm. Over in Cambridge County, in a barroom full of smoke, where all the neighbors gather to talk horse and crack a joke. On a cold and blustery evening, with tongues already greased, smoke rolling from his old clay pipe, Bill Hopkins spoke his piece. I want to tell you, boys, about a colt my dad was gonna shoot. Yes, he was gonna take the life of that crooked-legged brute. He was so doggone mad, you see, to think that our old mare could mother such a Hambletonian as we saw sprawling there. But I begged so hard of him to give the homely thing to me. At last he said, well, take him, Bill, he's the worst I've ever seen. I took him and I raised him, but although I'd never have owned, I'd have swapped him for a mule if nobody would have known. For long-legged and slab-sided was the nature of that critter, and the boys all laughed at me. So I kept him down in our back lot, well out of sight, you see. I'd go down and stir him up and switch him round the lot to see if he couldn't strike a gait that was something like a trot. But he didn't seem to have a gait. He mixed himself all up like an old jackknife with the rivets loose, half open and half shut. I broke him and drove him, but he didn't seem to know whether drove single or drove double, how he ought to act or go. I hauled milk to the factory with him and our old mare. One night while going home, I found out what was there. For the pole slipped through the neck yoke ring while going down a hill, and they lit out, Jehoshaphat, they lit out for to kill. My surprise turned to amazement, my blood got boiling hot. Our old mare run her level best, but the colt just held his trot. Going home that evening, I fixed everything all right, and I didn't tell my secret, and I didn't sleep that night. For the county fair was coming up, and I'd made up my mind to try my luck with the 4-year-olds and not be far behind. I got another boy to enter him, so nobody would know whose colt it was a-gonna run till it was time to go. We scored and scored to get the word, but the colt would sprawl and skip. The boys all hollered, Bill, why don't you let her rip? At last we got the word to go, but the others were ahead, and I wished that I was somewheres else and the darned old colt was dead. But I hauled right up and pounded him the very best I knew. All at once he spread his wings and flew. You talk about your trottin', boys, talk about your fun. 'Twas then we found them 4-year-olds, and we downed them one by one. My colt won 3 straight heats, and the crowd went crazy wild to see that there colt win like taking candy from a child. Boys, to end my story, you know that farm I own. The price I got for that there colt, it deeded me my home. My father always said blooded stock was his best holt, but you can bet your life he'll never give away another crooked-legged colt. Bill Hopkins Colt.
Lovely song.
Oh, I'd like it too.
Really? Yeah.
Brilliantly told, Judy. Thank you. Okay, it's time now for Graham Baldwin and then one from Jim Lucas.
Well, hello everybody. Today, of course, or yesterday actually, was St David's Day. So I was going to sing a song for you in Welsh, but there's a bit of a problem with that because I can't speak Welsh. So what I've done, I've hired my good wife Ruth to join me, who speaks a little bit of Welsh. So she's going to do a Welsh folk song for you. And here, do you want to tell them about it?
Yeah. So I do know a bit of Welsh, but I can't actually sing. So it's a compromise. This is a Welsh song, a Welsh folk song that belongs to the folk poetry corpus known as Hen Benillion, which means the old verses. It was collected in 1908 by Mary Davies of Cardiff, and she said that she first heard the song in Llangamach, Wales in 1828. There was a fair on in the town, and a man named David Evans sang it, and he in turn had learned it from the famous travelling bard and tailor Thomas Elias, whose name is, the Welsh name for him was y Bardd Coch. So the song is called Dacw Nghariad, which means there's my sweetheart in English, and you'll hear the word Dacw repeated several times during the song. It's a song of longing and despair and loneliness. He repeatedly sings about the places he remembers his girlfriend or lover in a familiar setting in which he had known her, the house, the barn, the beautiful oak tree, and he wishes he was there with her. He has his harp with him, which all self-respecting Welshmen will have with them when they're singing to their lover. But he says, what good will it do me? Because if she's not here to hear me play it, it's absolutely pointless. So it's a very lonely, sad song. So here it is, Dacw, Nghariad.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
You can so sing. Thank you. Okay, it's now time for Jim Lucas and then Stephen Andisaw.
Okay. I think last week I did a sea shanty and I got some compliments, so I'll try another one. See if I can find a good key. Nah. Is of a famous Yankee ship, Shenandoah is her name. An Irishman from Dublin Town was skipper all the same. Hurrah, hurrah for the girls of Dublin Town. Hurrah for the bonny green flag and the harp without the crown. 'Twas on the 17th of March we arrived in New York Bay. Our captain being Irish, he must celebrate the day. Hurrah, hurrah for the girls of Dublin Town. Hurrah for the bonny green flag and the harp without the crown. The stars and stripes of pie aloft were fluttering all around, and underneath his monkey gaffs flow the harp without the crown. Hurrah, Hurrah for the girls of Dublin Town. Oh, hurrah for the bonny green flag and harp without the crown. Now, sometimes we're bound for foreign parts, sometimes we're bound for home. But we Irish sailors are the best wherever we may roam. Hurrah, hurrah for the girls of Dublin Town. Hurrah for the bonny green flag and the harp without the crown. Now, sometimes the weather's fine and fair, sometimes it's damn well foul. Sometimes it blows an icy blast that'll freeze you to your soul. Hurrah, hurrah for the girls of Dublin Town. Hurrah for the bonny green flag and the harp without the crown. Sometimes we wish we'd never joined, but of course we'd rather be drinking in a pub, me boys, with the girl upon our knee. Oh, hurrah, hurrah for the girls of Dublin Town. Hurrah for the bonny green flag and the harp without the crown. Sometimes, excuse me. Yes, sometimes we wish we'd never been born, but we never grouse for long. Most times we are a happy crew that'll dance and sing a song. Hurrah, hurrah for the girls of Dublin Town. Hurrah for the bonny green flag and the harp without the crown. Now sometimes we're bound for Liverpool, sometimes we're bound for France, but now we're bound for Dublin Town to give the girls a chance. Oh, hurrah! Hurrah for the girls of Dublin Town. Hurrah for the bonny green flag and harp without the crown. And on this voyage homeward, boys, will work without a frown. For on board the saucy Shenandoah was harp without the crown. Hurrah, hurrah for the girls of Dublin Town. Hurrah for the bonny green flag and the harp without the crown. And when the voyage is all done and we're once again on shore, we'll spend our money on their girls, then go to sea for more. Oh, hurrah, hurrah for the girls of Dublin Town. Hurrah for the bonny green flag and the harp without the crown.
Hey. Not heard that one before.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me that the verse is Wearing of the Green, the tune, and the chorus is the Bonnie Blue Flag, which is a Civil War song from America, but someone else has told me that it was actually an Irish tune earlier.
Well, thank you, Jim. I think any song that makes Dublin into a 3-syllable word is a good song. So, thank you. Okay, time for Steve Andisaw and then Bob Wakeling. I hope I'm saying your surname right, Steve. I'm just going to make it up. Can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
Done it. You can pronounce my name however you want to. I'm going to give you a quick potted history of my musical education, but for reasons which will become apparent, I've got to do it against that wall behind me. So, here we go. Well, I went to join the orchestra at school in Stoke-on-Trent. Said, can I play the violin or some such instrument? The teacher looked me up and down and Dad, they are not the PTA. But you can play the tambourine, just don't play it too loud. We don't want kids like you to spoil our nice middle-class crowd. Don't play out of rhythm, make a noise or lark about, or we will find a good excuse for to have you thrown out. So I play the tambourine, I like to make you ring. I like to bash about a bit to make you tingling. It's the way of making sure I'm always heard the scene. I blaze me way through every day playing the tambourine. When I was a bit older, I joined the Salian. I asked them, can I play along with their Salvation Band? Can I play the trombone or a corn? It would be bliss. He pulled out an old tambourine and then he says, play this. So I went to the Pentecostals, the Assembly of God. I let them think they saved me, then I asked this Pastor Bod, can I play the guitar in your evening services? He prayed a bit, he spoke in tongues and no is what he said. So I play the tambourine, I like to make it ring. I like to bash about a bit to make it ting-a-ling. It's the way I make the score, I'm always heard the scene. I place me way through every day playing the tambourine. Our street don't need a long clock set to tune to Radio 1, 'cause I bash me tambourine to welcome in the crack of dawn. Our house ain't got no vermin 'cause I scare each rat and mouse, but the vibrations are crumbling the foundations of me house. Me windows all have cracks in and so's the roof above. Me dad wears plastic earplugs and me mum has shattered nerves. The only one who likes it is me dear old Auntie F, who, as you might have guessed, she's 93 and stony deaf. So I play me tambourine, I like to make it ring. I like to bash out a bit to make it ting-a-ling. It's the way I make the score, I've always heard the scene. I play me way through every day playing the tambourine. They won't know where to put me when I cross the great divide. Or will I go to heaven or hell, or how will they decide? Is this noise I'm making bad enough to be a sin? Will it be St. Peter or old Nick St. Steve me make come in? I'm playing the tambourine, I like to make it ring. I like to bash out a bit to make it ting-a-ling. It's the way I make the score, I'm always heard the scene. I blaze me way through every day playing the tambourine.
Well, that would have been very unexpected, was it not, for the fact that you have taught us to expect the unexpected, Steve? So great stuff. Okay, Bob Wakeling is up next, and Bob will be followed, I think, by John White, please.
Right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Right. I think I've sung ballads most weeks for some time now. This is not a ballad. This is a song, one of my favourites, although I haven't sung it for years, because I like the mystery. Reynard the Fox, Reynardine. Oh, I've got a note, hang on. One evening as I ramble among the springing thyme, I overheard a young woman converse with Reynardine. Her hair was black, her eyes were blue, and her lips as red as wine. And he smiled as he gazed upon her, did the sly bold Reynardine. She said, young man, be civil, and my company forsake, for to my good opinion, I fear you are a rake. He said, my dear, I am no rake, brought up in Venus' train, but I'm searching for concealment, all from the judge's men. Her cherry cheeks and rosy lips, they lost their former dye, and he smiles as he gazed upon her, upon the mountain high. They had not kissed but once or twice, till she came to again. And modestly she asked him, come tell to me your name. He said, if ye by chance you look for me, perhaps you'll not me find, for I'll be in my own castle, head and choir for Reynardine. She followed him both day and night, his teeth so bright did shine, and he led her over the mountain, did the sly bold Reynardine.
Man.
Wonderful.
I think it's splitting hairs to call that not a ballad, but anyway, thank you, Bob. Okay, John White, it's one from you now, and then one from Clive.
This will be a little trip down memory lane to many of you, because it's one of the first of the songs we heard from the Watersons, and when they burst upon the folk scene with their tremendous energy and those striking harmonies. It's the Jolly Waggoner. It's got a great chorus, so do join me at home, because it's a lovely song for joining in. When first I started waggoning, waggoning did go, it filled me poor old parents' hearts with sorrow, grief and woe, and many was the hardship that I did undergo. Sing, woe, me lad, sing, woe, drive on, me lad, drive on, who wouldn't be for all the world a jolly waggoner? When it's belting down with rain, me lads, I get wetted to the skin, but I bears it with contented heart till I reach the inn, and I sit down a drinking with the landlord and his kin, saying, woe, me lad, sing, woe, drive on, me lad, drive on, who wouldn't be for all the world a jolly waggoner? But things is greatly altered, lads, and waggons fewer seen. Well, the world's gone topsy-turvy, lads, things are run besteed, and the old world passes before me, just like a morning dream, sing, woe, me lads, sing, woe, drive on, me lads, drive on, who wouldn't be for all the world a jolly waggoner? Aye, things is greatly altered, but then what can us do? For the folks in power who take no heed of the likes of me and you. It's hardship for us walking lads, fortunes for the few, saying, woe, me lad, sing, woe, drive on, me lad, drive on, who wouldn't be for all the world a jolly waggoner? But Martin Mercy's coming, lads, for pleasures we shall see. White-capped before the wind, me lads, will spend our money free, and every lad shall love his lass and take her on his knee. Sing, woe, me lads, sing, woe, drive on, me lads, drive on, who wouldn't be for all the world a jolly waggoner?
Well done, John.
Yay!
Oh, wonderful.
We haven't had many chorus songs this evening, John, so thank you for that one. It was great to join in with. And it's now time for something from Clive Woolf, and Clive will be followed by Maggie and Pete.
Right. This is a song which I first heard from an American, but this is an English version of it. Da, da, da. Right. It does also have a sort of kind of chorus. Borden sadly sat weeping down by the seaside. Borden sadly sat weeping down by the seaside. What ails you, maiden Juden well? What ails you, maiden Juden well? What ails you, my Juden well? And causes you to cry. Why? Because I'm uneasy and troubled in mind. Because I'm uneasy and troubled in mind. There's no joy, no comfort. There's no joy, no comfort. There's no joy, no comfort in this world can I find. Once I had a sweetheart, but now I'm winding up nodding. Once I had a sweetheart, but now I'm winding up none. He's gone and he's leaving me. He's gone, he's deceiving me. He's gone and he's leaving me in sodden road to mourn. If he had but left me as he didn't pretend, if he had but loved me as he didn't pretend, he never wouldn't have leave me, nor never deceive me. He never would have leave me until my life's end. I'll send me a sailing through France and through Spain. I'll send me a sailing through France and through Spain. On shipboard I'll enter, my sweet life I'll venture, and never return to old England again.
Good song, Clive. It's one.
It's Daff.
That's good. A joiny in one there as well. Thank you, Clive. Okay, it's Maggie and Pete now, and then something from Steve Suffet, please.
We are unmuted.
Yeah, this is a song about came about after a trip to Portsmouth, and our little band was rehearsing this. The menfolk were rehearsing this song a year ago, and then everything got stopped. So this is our duo version. You see our combs, you see our shoes, you come to ask, were we like you? Full fathom 5, we were alive, we are King Harry's men. We went down with the Mary Rose, it's not the tomb we would have chose. The harbour mud with our guns and bows, we are King Harry's men. We blessed our bread, they blessed our guns, they blessed our widows and our sons. They blessed our bones, they brought ashore, we are King Harry's men. We've no papish idols by decree, and if you found our rosary beads, they were pressed on us by our mother's hands, we are King Harry's men. We went down with our ratting dog, tools, dice and fiddles, higher logs, golden angels in the purser's chest, we are King Harry's men. Across the harbour more great ships bear missiles with titanium tips, young men on board, on deck below, we are King Harry's men. As you are now, so once are we, who lay so long below the sea. We'd have shot you at our master's will, we are King Harry's men.
Yay!
Go on, Pete.
Nicely done. Thank you. Okay, it is time now for Steve, and then something from Helen Shilladay, please.
Let me unmute I'm unmuted now, I hope. Yesterday, of course, was St. David's Day, and I don't really know much about saints. I'm a secular Jew, but I'll trust people who tell me that it was. And I have a song, and I guess I'm a week late because it mentions Swansea in it. Ah, what will you give me, say the sad bells of Rhymney? Is there hope for the future? Cry the brown bells of Merthyr. Who made the Manona? Say the black bells of Hona. And who robbed the miner? Cry the grim bells of Ballad. Of course, it's the words by Idris, Davies, set to music by Pete Seeger. They will plunder willy-nilly, cry the bells of Caerphilly. They have fangs, they have teeth, shout the loud bells of Neath. Here it comes. Even God is uneasy, say the moist bells of Swansea. And what will you give me? Say the sad bells of Rhymney. Throw the Vandals in court, say the bells of Newport. All would be well if, say the green bells of Cardiff. Why so worried, sisters, why? Ask the silver bells why. And what will you give me? Say the sad bells of Rhymney. And what will you give me? Say the sad bells of Rhymney. Bells of Rhymney by Idris Davies and Pete Seeger.
I was not expecting Swansea to make a return so soon. Amazing, Steve. Well done. Okay, it's one now from Helen Shilladay, and then something from Riggy, please.
Hello. I'm going to sing the Yorkshire Couple. It's of a Yorkshire couple, this story I'll relate, who looked upon retirement with apprehension great. From their little Milltide cottage, with Amos feeling low, we've to leave this house tomorrow, wherever shall we go? Wherever shall we go? Wherever shall we go? We've to leave this house tomorrow, wherever shall we go? Now Martha says to Amos, well, don't you fret, old lad. With thoughts of our retirement, you should be feeling glad. From the day that we were wed, I've saved for a rainy day. Sorry, something's popping up on screen. I've saved for a rainy day. Each time that we made love, I put half a crown away. Half a crown away. Half a crown away. Every time that we made love, I put half a crown away. You see that row of cottages alongside Dog and Gun? Well, we'd not been married but a year when I bought the first one. The second 2 years later, the third it brought me tears. The fourth, it took much longer, all of 20 years. All of 20 years, all of 20 years. The fourth, it took much longer, all of 20 years. Well, Amos says to Martha, you know I love you so, and now I see the wisdom in reaping what you sow. But one thing does perplex me, why did you never tell? If I hadn't played away, I'd have had dog and gun as well. Dog and gun as well, dog and gun as well. If I hadn't played away, I'd have had dog and gun as well. Well, Martha says to Amos, you know I love you, dear. But when you said you were working late, I knew where you were. You remember our old milkman, the one who was such fun. Well, I did the same with him, and I bought him dog and gun. I bought him dog and gun. I bought him dog and gun. Well, I did the same with him, and I bought him dog and gun.
Brilliant.
Hey.
Great stuff, Helen. Good to have you back with us after a bit of a break. Okay, it's time now for one from Riggy and then David Diamond.
Okay, it's been a while. Back to see you. Here's an anti-drinking song. How inappropriate about bad husbands. To all good fellows now I mean to sing a song, for I have wrought my own decay and have done myself great wrong. In following the alehouse I spent away my store. Bad company did me undo, but I'll do so no more. I'll do so no more. Bad company did me undo, but I'll do so no more. I'll do so no more. I had a fair estate of land worth £40 a year. I sold and mortgaged all of that and spent it in strong beer. But my wife and friends could not rule me until I did wax poor. Bad company did me undo, but I'll do so no more. But I'll do so no more. Bad company did me undo, but I'll do so no more. I'll do so no more. Then I fell sick upon the same and lay 3 months and more. But never an alewife in my town would come within my door. But my poor wife was my best friend and stuck to me therefore. Bad company did me undo, but I'll do so no more. But I'll do so no more. Bad company did me undo, but I'll do so no more. I'll do so no more. My wife, she sold her petticoat and pawned her wedding ring. want to relieve me in my misery in any kind of thing. Till was I not a woeful man and stuck to her my fore? Bad company did me undo, but I'll do so no more. But I'll do so no more. That company did me undo, but I'll do so no more. I'll do so no more. As soon as I get strength again, I'll fall to work apace, to maintain my wife and children, for my needs are but base. I see who is a man's best friend when he be brick or poor. Bad company with me undo, but I'll do so no more. But I'll do so no more. That company did me undo, but I'll do so no more. I'll do so no more. I'll be good.
Thank you, Riggy. We're well into the choruses now. What does David Diamond have for us? Who's to say? I will go on myself after David.
Oh, okay. That would be a relief to everybody after me, as I've got a miserable song. I was warned many years ago, 30-some, I think, by Johnny Collins to not sing this song the way I sing it, but that's the only way I know. And I got it from, I think I got it from a Louis Killen record. Okay. Last Saturday night, by the banks of the Dee, I met an old man in distress I could see. I stepped up beside him, and this he did say: well, I can't get employment, for me hair it's turned grey. I am an old miner, it's 56. If I could get lots, well, I'd raffle me picks. Well, I'd raffle 'em, and I'd sell 'em, and I'd hoy 'em away. For I can't get employment, for me hair it's turned grey. Last Wednesday night to the reckoning I went, to the colliery office I went straight for Nantes. I got my wage packet, I was walking away, when they give us me notice, for me hair it's turned grey. When I was a young man, I was just like the rest. Each day in the pit I'd do my very best. If I got a good place, I'd be hewing all day. Now at 56, well, me hair it's turned grey. Now all ye young miners, it's ye's that's to blame. If ye got good jobs, well, you dame just the same. If you got a good price, well, you'll hew it away. And you're bound to regret it when your hair it turns grey. I am an old miner, it's 56. If I could get lots, I'd raffle me picks. I'd raffle 'em, I'd sell 'em, I'd hie 'em away. But I can't get employment, for me hair it turns grey.
Well done. Well done.
Very nice.
Nicely done, David. So I'll sing next, and Tara, if you could go after me, please, that would be great. Yeah, this is a ballad. It's one of the shorter ones. I don't really think of it as a ballad, but it's there in Child, and it's pretty miserable. I noticed lots of people were singing it at the start of the whole pandemic thing, and I haven't heard it for a while, so I thought I'd sing it myself tonight. A wind doth blow today, my love, a few small drops of rain. Never did I have but one true love, in cold clay he is lain. I'll do as much for my true love as any young maid may. I'll sit and mourn on his grave for a 12-month and a day. The 12 months and the day being gone, the dead began to speak. Who is it sits on my grave and will not let me sleep? 'Tis I, your own true love, who will not let you sleep. For I crave one kiss from your clay cold lips, and that is all I seek. If you were not my own true love, as now I know you be, I'd tear you as the withered leaves that grow on yonder tree. You crave one kiss from my clay cold lips, but my breath smells earthy strong. Adieu, one kiss from my clay cold lips, your time would not be long. When will we meet again, sweetheart? When will we meet again? When the autumn leaves that fall from the trees are green and spring up again. See down in yonder garden green, love, where we used to walk. The sweetest flower that e'er was seen is withered to the stalk. The stalk is withered dry, my love, so will our hearts decay. So make yourself content, my love, till death calls you away.
Lovely. Please singing, Amanda. Beautiful.
So that was the Unquiet Grave, as I'm sure most of you would know. You can't hear me, can you? Tara is next. And after Tara, one from Chris Lamb, please.
Hi guys. Charlie asked if she could do a quick clapping song after my song. So if it's all right, we'll do a quick clappy one after as well. Anyway, I was inspired by Maggie because she's always writing such amazing songs, and she did that lovely one last week where she talked about every little box being a circular light, and sharps is really important to us at the moment. And anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to call this song. You've heard of Love in a Time of Cholera. I think I'm going to call it Happiness in a Time of COVID. And here we go. I'm breathing, I'm breathing, I'm breathing. Though the world may be dark, gotta keep on breathing. I'm feeling, I'm feeling, I'm feeling. Seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, tasting. Gonna keep on feeling. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. Though the world may seem dark, put one foot in front of the other and keep on walking. I'm singing, I'm singing, I'm singing. Though the world may seem dark, go to shops and keep on singing. I'm smiling, I'm smiling, I'm smiling. Though this world may seem dark, in my heart the sun's still shining. Thank you. So now for Tara.
Hey, Tara. Oh, slow, love.
Right, we're going to try Charlie. Up, 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 up. Here we go. A clapping song. Can you still hear us? Yep, okay. Here we go. Ready? Okay, ready? I went to the Chinese baker's shop to buy a loaf of bread, bread, bread. He wrapped it up in a 5-pound note, and this is what he said, said, said. My name is Hilo, Chickalo, Chickalo, Hilo, Hilo, Chickalo, Chickalo, yo. It's the more recent one, that one.
Too short.
Yay, thank you, Tara and Charlie. If you do a clapping song every week, we'll get your whole repertoire on tape. Okay, great stuff. It's time for Chris Slam now, and then one from Kathy Dent.
Okay, this is a classic Copper Family song, which really needs to have be heard with lots of harmonies, which we can't get here, but until we manage to get back together again, and then we will. Here's a Jew, sweet lovely Nancy, 10,000 times a Jew. I'm a-going around the ocean, love, to seek for something new. Come change your ring with me, dear girl, come change your ring with me. For it might be a token of true love while I am on the sea. When I am far upon the sea, you knows not where I am. Kind letters I will write to you from every foreign land. The secrets of your mind, dear girl, are the best of my goodwill. So let my body be where it might, my heart is with you still. There's a heavy storm arising, see how it gather round. while we poor sailors are on the sea, are fighting for the crown. Our officers commanded us, and them we must obey, expecting every moment for to get cast away. There are tinkers, tailors, and shoemakers lie snoring in their sleep, while we poor souls on the ocean wide are ploughing through the deep. There's nothing to defend us, love, nor to keep us from the cold. On the ocean wide, where we must bide like jolly seamen bold. But when the war's all over, there'll be peace on every shore. We will drink to our wives and our children and the girls that we adore. We'll call for liquor merrily and spend our money free. And when our money it is all gone, we'll boldly go to sea.
Thanks, Chris. Great to have another chorus there. Okay, it is time for Kathy Dent now, and then I'd lost track of time, but I think we can squeeze in Simon Prager and then Sheila Miller to round off the first half. So Kathy, then Simon, then Sheila.
Okay, I bring you international collaboration this evening. I'm sitting in West London and I'm going to be singing a very sad, mournful French song, while over in the west of France, Tara is going to be providing the subtitles for you. So follow the song in the chat. A first for sharps, subtitles. Belle, je me suis levée, no, sorry, start again. Belle, je me suis levée, le matin que la lune. Belle, je me suis levée, le matin que la lune. C'était pour aller voir la fille de mon voisin, la seule que mon cœur aime tant. Dans mon chemin rencontre le père de mamie. Dans mon chemin rencontre le père de mamie. Et elle m'a demandé, où vas-tu mon ami? Ton petit cœur, il va mourir. Dans sa chambre montée, je vois mamie malade. Dans sa chambre montée, je vois mamie malade. Ma charmante maîtresse, qu'as-tu à te languir? Suis en danger, mais dois mourir. Amant, mon cher amant, tu m'allumeras un siège. Amant, mon cher amant, tu m'allumeras un siège. Tu viendrais passer la nuit au chevet de mon lit. Mon petit cœur n'est jamais voulu que toi. Finissant ces paroles, la belle est tombée morte. Finissant ces paroles, la belle est tombée morte. Voilà qu'elle a tiré ses mains blanches du lit pour dire adieu à son cher amant. Ma mère, ma bonne mère, dès qu'elle en aimait mange. Ma mère, ma bonne mère, dès qu'elle en aimait mange. Apportez-moi ici mes habits de drap noir, puisque mamie est morte d'intérêt. Mon fils, mon très cher fils, tu en trouveras bien d'autres. Mon fils, mon très cher fils, tu en trouveras bien d'autres. Il y a ici la fille du président, qui a de l'or et de l'argent. La fille du président, Noël ne me convient guère. La fille du président, Noël ne me convient guère. J'aimais bien mieux mamie, sans or et sans argent, que toutes les filles du président. Le deuil d'amour.
Oh, super. Bien chanté. I think I've got that album.
Technological first from Sharps and Isolation. Fabulous stuff, instantaneous translation in the chat. Okay, so Simon Prager next, and actually, looking at the time, Sheila, would you start the second half, please, rather than finish the first one? So over to Simon to finish the first half.
Okay, this is a. I don't know if you've been listening, but those over here might be. If you're listening to the BBC, you might be hearing Jackie Kay talking about. Or reading from her book about Bessie Smith, which I think is as much about Jackie Kay as it is about Bessie Smith, but I like Jackie Kay anyway. Bessie Smith started her career singing with Ma Rainey, and this is a Ma Rainey song which Bessie Smith also covered. It's a woman's song. I haven't tried to translate it. It's quite impossible. Just like a rainbow, I am fading away. My daddy leaves me most every day, and he don't mean me no good. Why? Because I only wish he would. I've almost gone insane. I'm forever trying to call his name. Look what you're doing, look what you're doing, oh, Papa. You cause me ruin, you cause me ruin. All my money I give you. You treat me mean and make me awfully blue. You're gonna miss me, you'll long to kiss me. You'll regret the day that you ever quit me. Oh, Papa, hate it when you're away from home. I give you money, don't want me no how, but you will want me someday from now. Papa, Papa, then you won't have no mama at all. Look what you're doing. Look what you're doing. Oh, Papa, you caused me ruin. You caused me ruin. All my money I give you. You treat me mean and make me awfully blue. You're gonna miss me. You'll long to kiss me. You regret the day that you ever quit me. Oh, Papa, think when you're away from home. You just don't want me, now wait and see. You'll find some other man make love to me. Papa, Papa, you ain't got no mama now.
Yes.
I'm glad not to have to all of that.
Yeah, we've had a few sad songs tonight, but I think you'll find there isn't any song sadder than this one here. You'll have you sopping in your cocoa or if you're drinking. Anyway, she was poor, but she was honest. Pure unstained was her name, till she's met a rich young squire. Then this poor girl's lost her name. It's the same the old world over. It's the poor what gets the blame. It's the rich what gets the pleasure. Ain't it all a blooming shame? In that rich man's arms she's fluttered like a bird with broken wing. First he's loved her, then he's left her, and this poor girl's got no ring. It's the same the old world over. It's the poor what gets the blame. It's the rich what gets the pleasure. Ain't it all a blooming shame? Standing on the bridge at midnight, throwing snowballs at the moon, she said, "Sir, I'm but a maiden." But she spoke too blooming soon. It's the same the old world over. It's the poor what gets the blame. It's the rich what gets the pleasure. Ain't it all a blooming shame? See him in the House of Commons. Well, he wouldn't at the moment, but see him in the House of Commons, talking bullshit all the time, while the victim of his passion crawls away to hide her shame. That's poetry, that is. It's the same the old world over. It's the poor what gets the blame. It's the rich what gets the pleasure. Ain't it all a blooming shame? So she's ran away to London for to hide her grief and shame, till she's met an army captain. Now she's lost her name again. It's the same the old world over. It's the poor what gets the blame. It's the rich what gets the pleasure. Ain't it all a blooming shame? In a Rose embowered cottage where her ancient parents live, there they sip champagne she left them, but they never can forgive. It's bloody tragic, this is. It's the same the old world over. It's the poor what gets the blame. It's the rich what gets the pleasure. Ain't it all a blooming shame? Thank you.
Everybody knows that.
Oh, it's tragic and it's comic. It's got everything, that song. Okay, great stuff. Sheila Miller, you missed your cue, but you're back.
Oh, I'm
so
sorry.
Over to you now, not to worry. And after Sheila, one from Mary Hogan, please.
This is a very short song, which I'm sure quite a few of you will know. And I haven't sung this for heaven knows how many years. They shut the road through the woods. That might be too low, or then again it may not. Oh, as I said, I haven't sung this for a long time. They shut the road through the woods 70 years ago. Weather and rain have undone it again, so now you never would know. There was once a road through the woods before they planted the trees. It is underneath the coppice and heath and the thin anemones. Only the keeper sees that where the ring-dove broods and the badgers roll at ease, there was once a road through the woods. Yet if you enter the woods of a summer evening late, when the night air cools on the trout-ringed pools, where the otter whistles its mate, they fear not the man in the woods, because they see so few. You may hear the beat of a horse's feet and the swish of a skirt in the dew. Oh, goodness. And the swish of a skirt in the dew, steadily cantering through the misty solitude, as though they perfectly knew the old lost road through the woods. But there is no road through the woods.
Thanks, Sheila. Thank you for coming back to us to sing that. Okay, it's Mary Hogan now, and then one from Bob Walser.
Okay, I'm going to sing a song in Irish this time, and it's definitely a cheerful song, a song of contentment. It's a woman farmer who sings rejoicing in her cattle, and the word you'll hear a lot is galna, which means calves, because she loves the calves best of all. And my favourite lines in the song, I'll translate, are: the music of the spirits are always in my ears, but sweeter to me is the sound of the cattle coming for milking. I'll just get my note. Is in Indira, my faina ganhours, the visin mokoni kashtafana launa. Vi behana kan fein is finna kigyanda. Og det visin panja teve kan shuklim sherna gauna. Alleluia gauna na gauna bona. Alleluia na gauna Peter Varlam. Alleluia na gauna calabona. Na gauna magan tauri a dausfer na bonta. Fighter dum sakana is fighter dum burg. Is fighter dum machana hinna kirker na kredokter. Kyolte shina krinna ve Shirker Maklusa ach ba vinne langs again ac na mórt jak an bwyle. Alla luna gauna bona, alla luna gauna Peter Varlam. Alla luna gauna galla bona, na gauna Martin Towery dawser na bonta. Rach mi der an ac is chano mi gauna, queer mi der amach ins na glanta. Queer dis ac sied an var is bar an het an gauda. Is tuk a sied the walja can an banya gor an Towery. Alla luna gauna bona, alla luna gauna Peter Varlam. Alla luna gauna galla bona, na gauna Martin Towery dawser na bonta.
Thank you, Mary. I think that was at least our fourth language this evening, so well done. And it's now time for Bob Waltzer, and Bob will be followed by Wendy. Bob, I think, is changing device at the moment, so I'm not sure.
That should be good.
Are you with us? You're with us. Okay,
I think so.
Over to you, Bob.
All right, a chance to sing collectively. Well, hi, love. This is a shanty that was collected in Wales by James Madison Carpenter. So you can join in. Hi, low, Johnny. Hi, low. I wonder what's the matter now. Johnny, come down. High, low. Pull down below. Hi, low, Johnny. Hi, low. I wonder what's the matter now. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. Used to work down Mobile Bay, but I got in debt, ran away. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. Mobile Bay is no place for me. I'll pack my bags and go to sea. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. And it's high, low, Johnny, high, low. I wonder what's the matter now. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. Way down south where I was born, among fields of yellow corn. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. Way south where I was born, way down south around Cape Horn. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. And it's high, low, Johnny, high, low. I wonder what's the matter now. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. We're outward bound at the break of day. We're outward bound, it's a hell of a way. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. Outward bound around Cape Horn, where you wish to God you'd never been born. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. And it's high, low, Johnny, high, low. I wonder what's the matter now. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. Growl you may, but go you must. If you growl too much, your head will bust. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. One more pull and then belay. One more pull and a hell of a day. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. And it's high, low, Johnny, high, low. I wonder what's the matter now. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below. And it's high, low, Johnny, high, low. I wonder what's the matter now. Johnny, come down, high, low, pull down below.
Barbara's is John White. Barbara's is Barbara, great to hear you again. This is John White.
Some pretty amazing sound effects going on there, Bob. Don't know how you do that. You'll have to tell us. Okay. Brilliant. So it is now time for Wendy, and after Wendy, one from Cape Porto, please. And everyone, please keep remembering to put the titles of your songs in the chat for everyone to see. Okay, over to Wendy.
Wow, I thought that was amazing, Bob. You had a kind of harmony going on. This isn't folk, but it's closely allied. It's country. You give your hand to me, and then you say hello, and I can hardly speak. My heart is beating so, and anyone can tell. You think you know me well, but you don't know me. No, you don't know the one who dreams of you at night and longs to kiss your lips and longs to hold you tight. Oh, to you I'm just a friend, that's all I'll ever be, 'cause you don't know me. For I never knew the art of making love, though my heart aches for love of you. Afraid and shy, I let my chance go by, the chance that you might love me too. You give your hand to me, and then you say goodbye. I watch you walk away, and I still wonder why. Oh no, I'll never know the one who loves you so, 'cause you don't know me.
Wonderful. I didn't realise that was country. Amazing. Maybe I like country. Okay, so Kate, it's you next. And after Kate, something from Tom Reed, please.
Okay. Are we unmuted?
You certainly are.
Oh, good. So this is certainly a chorus song, and you'll all know it, I'm sure. We had to move away 'cause the rent we couldn't pay. The come round just after dark. There was me and my old man shoving things inside the van, which I should have done before. Let me remark. Keep the week back in the van, and that's a fact. We got inside, all we could get inside. All we could back on the table at the back, and there wasn't any room for me to ride. Says follow the van, and don't these dollars on the ground. Oh, went the van with me unpacked in it. On the follows on with me old cot Lynette. We did and we stopped on the way to the old orphan, and I can't find my way up. I gave an helping hand with the marble wash and stand, and straight we wasn't getting on too bad. When all at once the carman bloke had an accident and broke, well, the nicest bit of china that we had. You'll understand, of course, I was cross about the loss, just as any other human woman would. I soon got over that, what with 2 out and a cat, 'cause it's little things like that what does you good. Says fun, fat, and do on went round with me unpacked in it. I'm for the sun with me all we didn't don't know where to run. Who's gonna put up the old iron bedstead if I can't find my way? Oh, I'm in such a mess. Don't know the new address. Don't even know the blessed neighbourhood. And I think that I just might have to stay out all the night. And it ain't gonna do me any good. Don't make no complaint. I'm coming over faint. What I need now is a good substantial feed. And I sort of kind of feel if I don't soon have a meal, then I'll have to rob the linen of the sea. As for that, and went the van with me in it. I follows on with me old pot limit. We delayed and dallied, and delayed. Lord, me way and don't know where to run. You can't trust the specials like the old time when you can't find your way home.
Yay, music hall favourite. Thanks, Kate. Okay, it is time now for something from Tom Reed, and after Tom, Gwyneth.
Thank you, Amanda. New song. It seems that every little bit of me is hurting just as deep can be. My heart is broken since we said goodbye. I can't get over you, though hard I try. I wake up crying to the blackbird's call. That's when I miss you, Lord, I miss you most of all. I thought that you would always be around. You kept my feet so firmly on the ground. When I was foolish, you were always wise. You saw right through my very thin disguise. Now you're no longer there to break my fall. That's when I miss you. Lord, I miss you most of all. Now I pass the day with all the old routines of wash and dry and keep my kitchen clean. But when the darkness tumbles down once more, I stumble to my room and close the door. With nowhere left to run, I hit the wall. That's when I miss you. Lord, I miss you most of all. With nowhere left to run, I hit the wall. That's when I miss you. Lord, I miss you most of all. That's when I miss you. Lord, I miss you most of all.
I'm getting I'm in.
Heartrending stuff, Tom. I can't take it. Okay, it's up to Gwyneth to follow that, and after Gwyneth, something from Martin Neal.
Right, I'm going to do a song that a lot of people sing, and a lot of you have already have sung in the past, etc. 70. This version, I think the words came from Mike Waterson, but I think he's sung a couple of versions as well. Methinks I see a host of craft spreading their sails a-lee, as down the Humber they do glide, bound for the northern sea. Methinks I see on each small craft a crew with hearts so brave, going out to earn their daily bread upon the restless wave. And it's 70, boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. Our herring craft, our trawlers, our fishing smacks as well, went out to fight that bitter night and battle with the swell. Methinks I see them yet again as they leave the land behind, casting their nets into the sea me the fishing shoals to find. Methinks I see them yet again, and all on board's all right, with the sails close reefed and the decks cleared up, and the side lights burning bright. And it's 70 boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. Our herring craft, our trawlers, our fishing smacks as well, went out to fight that bitter night and battle with the swell. October's night brought such a sight 'twas never seen before. There were masts and spars and broken yards from the drift into the shore. There were many a heart in sorrow, there was many a heart so brave, there was many a hearty fisher lad did find a watery grave. And it's 70 boys and men were lost from Grimsby town. From Yarmouth down to Scarborough, many hundreds more were drowned. Our herring craft, our trawlers, our fishing smacks as well, went out to fight that bitter night and battle with the swell. Thank you.
Thanks, Gwyneth. I haven't heard that for quite a while. That song was one of the songs that was sung the very first night I called in at Sharps, quite a few years ago now. So good to have a reminder of it. Okay, it's Martin Nail now, and then one from Paul Carter, please.
Right. Yes, we've had quite a variety of songs tonight, but I think we've been a bit short on extended metaphors. It's through a shooting gallery I'm settled down in life, for it's there I met the girl that has since became my wife. She held a rifle in her hand in such a winning way, and when I took it from her, these words to me did say, "You've got to hit the bullseye before you ring the bell. Take a steady aim, love, and try to do it well. Hold your rifle higher and don't let it misfire, for you've got to hit the bullseye before you ring the bell." I quickly fired the rifle, but I failed to ring the bell. Although I tried, it was no use. How 'twas I cannot tell. I did as she instructed me, and for a shot paid her. In such a coaxing manner, she whispered in me ear, "You've got to hit the bullseye before you ring the bell. Take a steady aim, love, and try to do it well. Hold your rifle higher and don't let it misfire, for you've got to hit the bullseye before you ring the bell." I kept on trying, but I found the target far too small. Although I kept on shooting, it was never hit at all. And then she said, Try one more time, for really you can't tell. Perhaps next time you fire your gun, perhaps you'll ring the bell. You've got to hit the target before you ring the bell. Take a steady aim, love, and try to do it well. Hold your rifle higher and don't let it misfire, for you've got to hit the bullseye before you ring the bell. And now to tell the truth, me friends, and cut me story short, I'm married and I live at home and get some proper sport. I've got a shooting gallery in a garret near the sky, and when I look from me window, the neighbours, they all cry, you've got to hit the bullseye before you ring the bell. Take a steady aim, love, and try to do it well. Hold your rifle higher and don't let it misfire, for you've got to hit the bullseye before you ring the bell.
It's barely even single innuendo, Martin, to be perfectly honest. Filth, absolute filth. Pal, I hope you're going to clean things up for us. And after Pal, something from Marty Stock, please.
Yes, complete change of mood. It's a song from Cara Dillon. Bonny, bonny was my seat in the red rosy yard, and bonny was my ship in the town of Balnagar. Shade and shelter was for me till I began to fail. You all may guess now my distress lies near the nightingale. Grief and woe that I must go to fight for England's king. I neither know his friend nor foe, and was a cruel thing. The nightingale is near at hand, my time at home is brief, and Kerry streams and mountain land I'll part with bitter grief. No more I'll walk the golden hills with Nancy by my side, or dream along her sun-bright rills of you, my land, with pride. We sail away at dawn of day, the sails are ready set. When old Benmore I see no more, I'll sigh with deep regret. Now all must change and I must range across the ocean wide. Our ship she may in Biscay Bay lie low beneath the tide. If I should fall by cannonball, nor sink beneath the sea, good people all, let's here let fall, and mourn for mine and me. If God should spare my greying hair and bring me back again, I'd love far more my Antrim shore, its dark blue hills and rain. Around the fire my heart's desire, heaven grant chill life shall fail, and keep me far from the cruel wars, and from the nightingale.
Pal, good to hear a Cara Dillon song, and you cleaned things up after Martin's filth, so thank you.
It was a
Okay,
perfectly innocent song about fairground attractions.
obviously. Okay, and now it's time for one from Marty Stock and then Liz Phillipson.
Hello, I'm sitting in New England, and we just had a few almost spring-like days, except today we've been hammered by an Arctic gale. Anyhow, it made me think of spring songs, and this is a ballad that reminds me of spring, and its name be Barbara Allen. In Scarlet Town, where I was born, there was a fair maid dwelling, made every youth cry well a day. Her name was Barbary Ellen. All in the merry month of May, when green buds they were swelling, young Jimmy Grove on his deathbed lay, for the love of Barbary Allen. He sent his servant through the town to the place where she was dwelling. Come, miss or missus, to my master dying, if your name be Barbary Allen. So slowly, slowly she got up, and slowly she drew nigh him. She drew the curtain to one side, and said, young man, you are dying. Remember, remember, in yonder town, 'twas in the tavern drinking, you gave a toast to the ladies all, but you slighted Barbary Allen. Oh yes, I remember, in yonder town, 'twas in the tavern drinking, I gave a toast to the ladies all, but my heart to Barbary Allen. As she was going through the town, she heard the church bell knelling, and every stroke it seemed to say, hard-hearted Barbary Allen. Oh, mother, mother, make my bed. Go make it long and narrow. Young Jimmy died for me today. I must die for him tomorrow. They buried Jimmy in one churchyard, Barbara Allen in another, and from his grave grew a red, red rose, and out of hers grew a briar. They grew to the steeple top, till they could grow no higher, and there they twined in a true lover's knot. The rose grew round the briar in Scarlet Town, where I was born. There was a fair maid dwelling, and every youth cried well a day, and her name was Barbary Ellen, and her name was Barbary Ellen.
Well sung.
Really nice.
Thank you. Excellent.
What a great version, Marty. Thanks for bringing that. She has some motivation in that version. I like it. I can understand where she's coming from at last. Okay, brilliant. So next is something from Liz Phillipson and then Racker Donnelly, please.
Last week somebody sang a Davies Steele song, so I thought I'd sing a different one this week. Oh, I've worked on farms and frae the start, the muckle horses won my heart. Where big broad backs they proudly stand, the uncrowned kings of the land, and yet for all their power and strength, they're as gentle as a summer's wind. So steady, boys, walk on. Our work will soon be done. No more we'll till and plough the fields. The horses' day is gone. And this will be our last trip home. So steady, boys, walk on. I have heard men sing their songs of praise of Arab stallions in a race, and hunters that ran with the hounds to chase the fox and run him down. But none of them compare, I vow, to a working pair that pull a plough. So steady, boys, walk on. Our work will soon be done. No more we'll plough until the fields, the horses' day is done. And this will be our last trip home, so steady, boys, walk on. Well, in all the years I've plied my trade, and all the fields I've ploughed and laid, I never thought I'd see the day when a Clydesdale's work would ever end. But progress runs its driven course, and tractors have replaced the horse. So steady, boys, walk on. Our work will soon be done. No more we'll till and plough the fields. The horses' day is gone. And this will be our last trip home. So steady, boys, walk on. As we head the chance to see us pass like this. They'll say they saw in years to come the muckle horse's last trip home. So steady, boys, walk on, our work will soon be done. No more we'll till and plough the fields, the horses' day is gone. And this will be our last trip home, so steady, boys, walk on. Davy Steele.
I like a good horse song. Thank you. That's at least the second horse song we've had this evening, I think. Great. Okay, so now it's over to Racker Donnelly, and after Racker, it's a welcome back to Tams and Try. Are you there? Oh, can't hear you, Racker. Unmute, unmute.
Am I unmuted now?
That's you now. Yeah, you probably said some fantastic stuff, but we missed it. Fire away.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine now?
No, wait a minute. Can you unmute me?
Yes, yes, you're on mute. You're fine now. I don't know if you can hear me. Good to go.
Yes, I can hear you. Right.
Go.
This was written in 1902 by Robert Gantony. That's Anthony with a G in front of it. And Robert Gantony. And it's a lovely little, very short story rhyme. And it's called A Single Hare. And you might be expecting a bachelor rabbit, but no, it's more tragic than that. He was not bald. From his shining cranium remained one hair, its colour pink geranium. Oh, how he idolized that single hair, which last of loved ones grew luxuriant there. He counted it each morning, fondly viewed it this way and that way, carefully shampooed it, brushed it, combed it, scented it and oiled it, dared scarcely put his hat on lest he spoiled it. In evening dress, arrayed for swell society, he'd part it in the middle for variety. Omitting nothing, with devoted care, he'd tend his tender, slender tenticule of hair. But sad to tell, oh, bitter was the blow. There came a day of direst woe, when in his soup it fell. He quickly spied it, rescued it, and on his napkin dried it. I am bald, alas, he wailed in bitter grief. Me only hair has fallen like a leaf. I know, a taxi! Damnest, shouted he, I'll have it stuffed for all mankind to see. And when it's in its case of glass installed, the world will know I was not always bald. Robert Gantony, 1902.
Great stuff, Racker. I don't know how you part a hair, but never mind. Okay, Tamsin, great to see you back. We haven't seen you for a while. Looking forward to hearing you sing. And after Tamsin, something from Deirdre and Chris.
Hello. I'm going to sing a song called "Gown of Green." I've learnt it from the recording by Murder, but it's a traditional song that's been sung by lots of people. As a soldier was I walking along the broad highway, been weary of traveling for many a long day. Oh, he met a lovely woman with a baby in her arms. Oh, that she kissed and said, I wish your father would return. Good morning, my fair creature, I am proud to meet you here. With that sweet baby in your arms, you seem to love so dear. Oh, I think I know the father and you before I've seen. Don't you remember the day, my love, you wore the gown of green? Oh, it's many battles I have fought all on the raging main. And it's many battles I have fought in Portugal and Spain. But it's now that I return again with plenty of gold in store. I mean to make you my lawful bride and rove abroad no more. So come, let us buy the license all on this very day, and then we shall be married, love, without any more delay. With a pretty little prattling baby, such pleasures may be seen that you will never regret that day you wore the gown of green. With a pretty little prattling baby, such pleasures may be seen that you may never regret that day you wore the gown of green.
Good to hear you again, Tamsin. I hope you'll keep coming back to Sharps. Fantastic stuff. Okay, now it's over to Deirdre and Chris. And I can hear myself in the background, which is really weird. So Deirdre and Chris, and then
I don't think Chris is going to be back in time, but I've got, instead of a song, I've got a recital inspired by Racker. About 10 years ago, I found a poem in the New Yorker magazine which appealed to my geeky heart. I'm born and bred in Brooklyn, and I've been singing folk music since I was a child. The poem is called Homage to Mary Hamilton by Tom Slay, and it makes reference to a couple of things. If you're not familiar with New York, Greenwood Cemetery is in Sunset Park, and it is the final resting place for many famous people, including a number of assassins who worked for Murder, Inc., which was an organization of hitmen hired by the 5 major crime families in the 1930s and 40s here in New York City. And if you're familiar with South Brooklyn, the BQE gives you a beautiful view of lower Manhattan and also lots of seedy billboards. And every so often, even though I live on an island, we get a lot of wildlife, including deer. And with that, I'm going to sing a snippet of Mary Hamilton and read the poem. Last night there were 4 Marys, Tonight there'll be but three. There was Mary Beaton and Mary Seaton, Mary Carmichael and me. I'm driving past discarded tires, the all-night car wash dreams near Greenwood Cemetery, where the other world of Queens puts out trash. Trash of Murder Inc., trash of Heartbeat and recycled newspapers where Romeo and Juliet meet. So much thorny underbrush, so much ice overgrowing my windshield, until frost shields a buck behind a billboard forest. Selling someone's half-dressed daughter, she melts into the defroster, roaring like rich guys' helicopters at the Wall Street heliport, rotoring down through skyscrapers, where torch song lipstick smears onto a handkerchief and starched collar. But in my face, snow blizzards up from 16-wheelers. And 3 crows clod against limbs down swooping, omens of the augurs that steers the desperate lovers to a crossroads right here. And where mobsters and suicides lie buried and the radio breaks into a ballad of Mary Hamilton's fair body, but who's tied it in her apron and thrown it in the sea. I'm the quake and the short-livered quiver, the laughter and the fractured tailor of her night in the long cellar where the highest steward of all. Oh, she's watched the queen's feet and gently laid her down, but all the thanks she's gotten this night's to be hanged in Edinburgh town. I'm sitting behind the wheel of our mutual desire when the heel comes off her shoe on the Parliament stair, and lang ere she came down again she was condemned to die. But the instant the news comes on and drones spy down on our compulsions, her hands under my hands wrestle on the wheel as my foot taps the brakes, her foot the gas. When out of the gliding dark I spot his velvet rack. Last night there were 4 Toms, but tonight there'll be but 3. There was Tom Fool, Sweet Tooth Tom, Tom the Bomb, and me.
Wow.
Only this audience would appreciate this.
Actually, a Brooklyner.
Very unusual.
Thanks, Deirdre. We were definitely not expecting that, but great to hear that. Okay, moving on now to Declan, please, and then one from Helen Engelhart.
Is that me?
That's you?
Oh God. Yeah, I'm going to try a song. I was reminded of this song a couple of weeks ago, and I hadn't sung it for about 30 years. It's a cursing song. It's a curse on the guy who executed Robert Emmet. Robert Emmet was executed in Dublin in 1803 by British forces, and Robert Emmet's code name was Nell Flaherty's Drake, his secret code name. So this is a curse on the guy that murdered Nell Flaherty's Drake. My name it is Nell, and quite candid I tell, and I live near Coat Hill, that I'll never deny. I had a large drake, and the truth for to speak, that me grandmother left me, and she going to die. He was wholesome and sound, and he weighed 20 pounds, and the universe round I would roam for his sake. I'd went to the robber, both drunken and sober, that murdered Nell Flaherty's beautiful Drake. His neck it was green and most rare to be seen. He was fit for a queen of the highest degree. His body was white and it would you delight. He was plump, fat and heavy and brisk as a bee. The dear little fellow, his legs they were yellow. He'd fly like a swallow and dive like a hag, till some wicked savage to grease his white cabbage most wantonly murdered Nell Flaherty's drake. May his pig never grunt, may his cat never hunt, that the ghost may him haunt in the dead of the night. May his hens never lay, may his ass never bray, may his goat fly away like an old paper kite. That the flies and the fleas or the wretch ever tease, and a bitter north breeze make him tremble and shake. May a 4-year-old bug make a nest in the lug of the monster that murdered Nell Flaherty's drake. May his pipe never smoke, may his teapot be broke, and to add to the joke, may his kettle ne'er boil. May ne'er rest in bed till the hour that he's dead. May he always be fed on lop sauce and fish oil. May he swell with the gout till his grinders fall out. May he roar, bawl and shout with a horrid toothache. May his temples wear horns and all his toes corns, the monster that murdered Nell Flaherty's drake. May his spade never dig, may his sow never pig, may each knit in his wig be as large as a snail. May his door have no latch, may his roof have no thatch, may his turkey not hatch, may the rats eat his tail. May every old fairy from Cork to Dunleary dip him snug and airy in some pond or lake, where the eel and the trout may dine on the snout of the monster that murdered Nell Flaherty's drake. Now the only good news that I have to diffuse is that Long Peter Hughes and Blind Piper MacPake and Big Nose Bob Manson, Buck-tooted Bob Hanson, each man has a grandson of my darling Drake. Me bird, he has dozens of nephews and cousins, and one I must have or my poor heart will break. I could live me life easy before I go crazy. There ends the sad tale of Nell Flaherty's drake.
Good to hear that again. If you want, I could shoot Amanda a message saying you're back.
Lovely stuff, Declan. It's got some good rhymes in it, that one as well. Okay, we're coming close to the end of the evening, and we're having an entirely Irish end to the evening as far as I can see. So in the running order from now on, it's going to be Paddy Hannon, because Helen, who I called, has disappeared. So it's going to be Paddy, followed by John Johnson, and then Marianne McAleer to finish off the evening. So over to you, Paddy. You'll need to unmute.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've got some new kit here, so the visuals seem okay. If there's any problem with the sound, tell me about it. It's not an Irish song. It's a cautionary tale for young men. In Manchester City, at the sign of the plough, there lived a mole catcher, I don't need tell you how, singing low till I die. Low till I, little lie, low till I die. He's gone a mole catching from the morning till night, and a young fella's come for to play with his wife, singing low till I die. Low till I, little lie, low till I die. But the mole catcher, jealous of this very same thing, He's hid in the wash house to watch him come in, singing low to lie day, low to lie, little lie, low to lie day. Ah, where is your husband, good woman, I pray? He's gone a mole catching for the most of the day, singing low to lie day, low to lie, little lie, low to lie day. Well, she's gone straight upstairs and he's followed her sign, but the crafty mole catchers crept close up behind, singing low to lie day, low to lie, little lie, low to lie day. Now when this young couple were right up to their frolics, the mole catchers trapped him right fast by his knees, singing low to lie day, low to lie, little lie, low to lie day. Well, the trap it bit tight and he's laughed at the sight, saying here's the biggest mole I ever caught in my life, singing low to lie day, low to lie, little lie, low to lie day. Well, you'll have to pay well for the ploughing of me ground, for the money it'll cost you no less than £10, singing low to lie day, low to lie, little lie, low to lie day. All right, says the young fella, the money I don't mind, 'cause it only works out about twopence a grind, singing low to lie day, low to lie, little lie, low to lie day. So come all you young fellas now, just mind what you're at, and don't ever get 'em caught in no mole catcher's trap, singing low to lie day, low to lie, little lie, low to lie day.
One of those verses that rhyme.
The measurements, the Mach number, the reference.
Thanks, Paddy. I think I have detected that you are not, in fact, Irish, perhaps. I apologise for my mistake.
I am not, in fact, Irish. I am from Yorkshire, but my birthday is March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. My antecedents are Irish.
Okay.
There was no chance of me being called anything else.
Yeah, I'm not too far off then. Okay, thanks, Paddy. So now it's John Johnston, and he'll be followed by Marianne. Over to you, John.
Hi, Amanda. How you doing? I'm Irish. Okay. So, okay. Erskine Nichols, Scottish artist, came to Ireland in the 1860s. So he depicted a lot of the scenes of poverty in Ireland. And one of them was sketched at a railway station in my hometown, Ballinasloe. So you can see the painting in the Tate Gallery, and it's called The Emigrants. So I'd just like to sing this song in honor of and in memory of the two immigrants who stood at the station in Ballinasloe in 1864. Come all you young men, pray draw near now, and listen to these words I say. I'm going to tell you that the people of Ireland are emigrating to America. Yes, indeed, they're emigrating. This poor country they can't stand. They're putting their foot on board of a ship, sailing off to the Yankee land. The night before they're due for sailing, all the neighbors around the throng, just to take a parting glass, or otherwise to sing a song. They dance all night till early morning, each man cutting across the floor, until the mother comes in weeping saying, take your children to the door. Hurrah for the gallant sons of Erin. This poor country they can't stand. They're putting their foot on board of a ship, sailing off to the Yankee land. The other day as I went walking near the town of Ballinasloe, I overheard the crowd approaching, and it nearly filled me heart with woe. For I saw the coaches and carriages coming, onwards, forwards to the train, and the handkerchiefs were waving, a bidding farewell to Granuaile. Hurrah for the gallant sons of Erin. This poor country they can't stand. They're putting their foot on board of a ship, sailing off to the Yankee land. And when they reach the New York harbor, old friends will greet us with good cheer, saying, how's old Ireland? How's she doing? And how's she coming on this year? She's the most disgraced and cursed nation that the world has ever seen. All she's got for is process serving in that little Isle of Green. Ah, yes, indeed, they're emigrating from the land that they hold dear. And any man that isn't married, 'tis devil the wife he'll find this year. Hurrah for the gallant sons of Erin. This poor country they can't stand. They're putting their foot on board of a ship, sailing off to the Yankee land. And here's to the two immigrants. Thank you.
Well sung. Well sung.
Well done, Johnny. And that was our penultimate song. Our ultimate song will be sung by Marianne McAleer in just a minute. But before Marianne sings, a thank you, as always, to everyone who has been part of this evening. It's been another wonderful evening, and great to see you all and hear you all, or almost all of you. And thanks to Livy on the mute button and David for compiling the list of songs, and yeah, everybody basically. Hope to see you all again soon. Over to you now, Marianne. Marianne, can't hear a thing. Marianne, I cannot hear a thing. I don't think you've got any sound. Ah. Okay. So now somebody needs to tell a joke or something while Marianne sorts out her audio. Oh. That is really weird because the yellow box is around you and yet Can't hear a thing. Well, I think hopefully you'll come back next week and sing whatever it was you were going to sing. And it is actually 11 o'clock now. So somehow miraculously we have for once finished bang on time. Well done, everyone. And I think that's it. It's over. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.